Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 32 of The Wide World of Geek, where we look at what's new and newsworthy in the world of geek this week. Now, before we get into any news, I would just like to mention I am stranded. I'm without my car. I had to take my truck in this morning for what I thought would be a simple repair, a simple replacement, and it's turned into a huge financial blow to the tune of 600 plus. And I don't have it today. Hopefully I get it back tomorrow because I kind of need my truck. Anyway, this is the Wide World of Geek, where we look at geeky news. So let's get to it. First up, let's do some comic book news. It was announced today, or I guess I don't even know if an announcement is the right word. It was mentioned today that Hugh Jackman's role in the upcoming X-Men Days of Future Past movie as Wolverine, obviously, will be a large role. It will be a substantial role. Now, for those of you who don't know, Days of Future Past does have a large role for Wolverine. He does not last necessarily that long in the story, but his role is super important. So whether he shows up in the present day, or the past as it might be, and then shows up in the future, his role is going to be fairly large. I don't believe he will be a main character in this movie. But what this really means is that after Days of Future Past, Hugh Jackman's contract to play Wolverine in any X-Men or Wolverine-related movies is up. He was scheduled to play Wolverine in, I believe, 6 movies, with the first 3 X-Men movies with Wolverine Origins and with the Wolverine. That puts him at 5, and Days of Future Past puts him at 6. I do not believe they count his cameo in X-Men First Class. But does this mean that Hugh Jackman will be done playing Wolverine? Will somebody else fill his shoes for future roles? Can anyone play Wolverine like Hugh Jackman does? I mean, for the last 12, 13 years, he's been Wolverine. I mean, they've changed the comics to make him look more like Hugh Jackman. And now they're going through and they're making his role deeper. So if there's more X-Men movies, if Wolverine shows up, I hope Hugh Jackman will be able to come back for at least single movies. He doesn't need a big contract. But Wide World Geek, we hope you continue to be Wolverine, Hugh. In other comic book news, there's apparently been some controversy when yesterday DC announced that Orson Scott Card would be writing an Adventures of Superman digital comic book. Now, Orson Scott Card is the author of the famed sci-fi novel Ender's Game and the entire Ender's series. He was the writer on Ultimate Iron Man and many, many other things. Now, this is a controversy because of some of Card's personal views. Specifically his views on gay rights and gay marriage. And solely on this point did different advocate groups come and tell DC they had to fire him. They had to take him away from these projects. Not once looking at his acumen, at his writing ability, at what he could bring to it, but just because of who he is on a personal level. Now, I am all for people's rights. I'm all for them, living life the way they want to live. That includes Orson Scott Card, though. If you are going to attack a man on his personal beliefs, don't be shocked if he attacks you back. This goes for Orson Scott Card against homosexuals. This goes for gay rights groups on Orson Scott Card. Let the man do his job. Argue about your personal beliefs outside of that. That one has nothing to do with the other. He's not writing an anti-gay Superman book. His personal beliefs are one way. He doesn't put it necessarily into his writing. He especially doesn't do it with characters like Superman. So, in my opinion, let this lie. If DC caves, it's just going to be a cakewalk for any activist group to say, hey, I don't like that person, get rid of him. That's not how things are supposed to go. Now, in video game news, we got a couple big things and one fun thing. Kind of fun thing. Deadpool, the Marvel comic book character, the Merc with a Mouth, his game has been talked about now for months. They've shown little bits and pieces. They've shown how he's going to be breaking the fourth wall like he does in the comics. It's looking like a great game. One thing they've never done, though, is give us a release date. We don't know when this game is coming out. We don't know if it's going to be soon, if it's going to be years. Finally, there has been a bit of narrowing down of this release date. It's been given a summer release. High Moon Studios, the developer that's come out with multiple Transformers games, are the producers of the Deadpool game, and they have said that it will be coming out in the summer season. Now, unfortunately, the summer season is kind of long for video games. It could stretch from May to September. So we'll see when it comes out. When it comes out, I'm definitely going to be getting it. I will be posting videos of me playing this. I think I'll be doing some Let's Plays as I play it instead of any sort of background because it's going to be a fun game. In more serious news, it was reported that Valve, the company that owns the game system Steam, where you can buy lots of games, where you can play through. They're the creators of Half-Life and Portal and Team Fortress. They have been hit with layoffs, and they are facing a large decision in the near future. It has been reported that possibly up to 25 people have been laid off, including some very high-ranking people such as Valve's Director of Business, Jason Holtman. They've left the company. Other engineers and mechanical engineers have left or have been fired. So Valve's future is looking a little shaky right now. We don't know what any of these things mean. We don't know if they are just cleaning up spots where they might have less need for people, if there are financial concerns. But Valve, I would think, would be doing fairly well. Steam is very popular. Steam is where you get most of your games if you play PC games. So I don't know what's going on with that, but when I find out more information, you guys are going to find out more information. Now, the other bit of news is GameStop, the video game retail store, will be closing 250 stores, but will be opening 60 to 70. And the reason given behind this is that of the closures, 200 will be in the United States, 50 will be international, and they're doing this to shut down some stores that are maybe not doing good business or are doing mediocre business, and opening some in other locations to steer people towards nearby stores that are still successful. This is a sound business model. If one of your chains is not making you money, if you have to spend more money than is coming in, then it's not good for business. But if people will still drive a little bit further, then they will. If they're gonna shop at your store, they'll shop 5 minutes further away. In one of my neighboring towns, there is 3 GameStops within half a mile of each other. 2 of them are directly across the street from each other. The other is around the corner in the mall. If you continuing on that road about another half a mile, there's yet another GameStop. So 4 GameStops in a very tight location. Are they all profitable? I doubt it. One of those at least will probably be going away. So this is a sound model. I don't think GameStop's in any danger of closing. They're just cleaning up shop. So those are the big news items this week. Again, sadly I'm stranded and I live in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, so I'm stranded until I get a ride to work tomorrow. But I will be back on Friday with another Fry Play. Still debating on what game it's going to be. I have yet to play anything for this week. It might be Limbo, it might be Halo 4, it might be Team Fortress. I'm not sure. And on Sunday will definitely be another adventure in the Bronze League. So until then, this is Bach, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.